last time on Critnet, Edward helped show and give some insight as to where the Temple of Kret is using the map from Vall and Parker playing his violin thing. Or is it viola? I can't really remember. Instruments. Kind of hard to remember which is which. But, or is it a cello? No, cellos are too big. No, never. Anyway, Kruz also got help from Parker and Ghastgar to help finish all the sellsword stuff before they jumped ship. I'm so proud of Ghastgar. He's my friend. But then, after that, it got really interesting because when we were going to come into land, because Lucia thought it was going to be a good idea to not land in the big town where all the Deodovan were going to ask questions, we were trying to land on the outside, but when we tried to, the ship kind of half exploded. And Agi, me, and everyone else tried our best to hang on. And eventually we landed, mostly. And everyone's gotten off, and we're fine. We're around also a really weird wheat field that seems to start to eat things that also go into it. So we're trying to avoid that as well. Lucia seemed to not be the one who caused the explosion. I think that's what we've determined. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I was kind of in the front of everything. But speaking of the front of everything, right now we have a bunch of monsters running at us, and I'm slowly drawing my axe because I have a feeling this is going to be fun. What's going to happen next? Let's find out together, shall we?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Critnet. Woohoo! Yeah, we're back. Here we have everyone returning for another wonderful episode. Why doesn't everyone take a moment to introduce themselves?
Hey, everyone, this is Riggs, your local bard, Parker Prax.
Hey, everyone, this is James, your local fighter, Kruz.
Apparently, we're all locals tonight. This is Cornish, your local mongoose, Ghastgar, who is not recording from the middle of nowhere, cruddy Airbnb.
Thank God.
At least me and Kruz are from Hopel.
And I am Lola. I play Ellanya Ondiso.
Not local to the area at all. Hi, I'm Elliot Flower, playing Vall again, who's also not a local to anywhere nearby.
And I am Sawyer Fisher.
Unimportant. Moving on.
The most local out of everybody.
Yeah, he's the local of every character other than ours.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, listeners, if you turn around, he's right behind you right now.
You can't see him. You have to look down.
As I look back up at them. Hi. But anywhoozers, speaking of local, you all have very localized issues now coming your way.
Yeah.
Not as much as them. I shoot.
Well, do we need to roll initiative, or do
Nope,
we have surprise?
I already have
round?
initiative.
Okay. Oh. What did I roll? That I can't remember.
Ghastgar.
It's me?
With a... Nope.
Oh, shoot.
I'm just kidding. Parker, with a 23. You get the jump on everybody. The creatures right now are tearing towards you and your band. All of you have escaped the airship. You can see it burning off in the distance. Right now before you, you see two shivers. Behind them, two massive toad-like entities leaping after them hungrily. You see their tongues shooting out, hitting the dust next to them. The shivers and their cold hounds managing to dodge out of the way, still heading your way. And behind those four is a massive, six-armed reptilian creature, almost like a snake but with legs, and is now making his way behind them, intent on tearing apart either you or those in front of it. It's very hard to tell. What do you do?
Okay, so seeing a bunch of creatures coming our direction, I'm going to cast at a second level spell Mirror Image on myself. And then as a bonus action, who's up on the front with me?
Right now, it would be. What would your marching order be? Actually, give me your marching order.
Well, everyone yelled at me to be in the front, so I'm in the front.
I'm probably middle of the pack.
Knowing me, I'm up the front next to Parker.
So I actually was in front of them, like, with Walter and Fluffy. Because I already started running towards them when Vall shot.
Ah, yes, when everything began. So I'll put you right up there. Okay.
Then she's up in front. I will use my Bardic Inspiration as a bonus action to inspire Ellanya. So you'll get an additional 1d8 to any ability check, attack roll, or saving
I'm gonna remember that this time.
Parker, after inspiring Ellanya, do you do anything else? Because that's a bonus action for you, correct?
My main action was casting Mirror Image on myself, and then bonus action to inspire. I will also run ahead half my movement speed, so I'll only move like 15 feet ahead, because I still don't want to be like out in front exposed per se.
Okay. Duly noted. Vall, from behind, you're able to initiate your attack. What do you do?
I'm going to take a move action to steady my aim
Okay.
to gain advantage on my shot. Actually, while I'm aiming, can I make a knowledge check on the creatures in front of me?
Yes, you may.
I've never seen the big thing, right?
No, you have not seen the big thing. Or the toads.
The toads sound like they're some sort of drool.
Right? They're like massive toads, but they have like moss growing down their back. You see these various kinds of vegetation kind of sticking out in several different places, almost like roots coming out their sides too.
I want to know what the biggest threat is. So, what knowledge would I need for the big guy?
Please roll a nature check.
Oof. That is a 10.
A 10. It's big, it's scary, it's got 6 arms, and it looks very hungry. This thing definitely looks like it's the biggest and the baddest.
No clue what that is. It dies fast. He loads one of his giant crossbolts and takes his aim and fires.
All right.
Total of 22, and the advantage shot is a 17, so 22 to hit.
22 does hit.
I always forget. Do I get sneak attack on advantage? Or only when there's an ally?
Whenever you have an advantage.
Alright, that's 7 from the crossbow.
17?
7 from the crossbow.
Oh, 7. Jeez, okay.
And 8 from the sneak attack.
Heck yes.
And as a free action, I'll speak up. Ellanya, do you have any clue what that big thing is?
The one in the front, the middle, or the back?
The biggest one in the back. 6 arms, giant bug beast thing.
Yes, that is a creature from the 7th level.
Why does no one tell me this? Why is it...
Because we kind of just saw it, Vall! Shoot it!
I already did. It's just someone else's turn now.
Yes, one of the giant bolts flies by, lands right into one of the arms of this thing. It reaches over, grabs it with 2 of them, and tears it out and throws it to the ground. And now, Vall, its eyes are set on you. Ghastgar! It is up to you.
Well, I was expecting a fight, but I wasn't expecting this. I would like to... Is there any high ground I can take?
There is not. It is a flat path between 2 fields.
Okay. Okay, I haven't assigned a mode yet for Switch, so it's going to be assigned to Flamethrower. To the best of my ability, well, actually, before I assign it, to the best of my ability, to my knowledge of some of the things I've encountered, are any of these things more susceptible to fire than others?
Roll a nature check.
Nature runs off of wisdom, correct? Yep.
Nature runs off intelligence.
Okay, that's a 19.
A 19, wonderful. With a 19, you're able to deduce that the ones that have the foliage upon their back would definitely be susceptible to a open flame, possibly igniting them on the back. You see the shivers up front, you would recognize fear light. so fire would probably do well in this situation.
Yep, going flamethrower mode and aiming for the foliage sort of folks.
Right now, they are 60 feet away from you.
Okay, I will use 30. Well, actually, what is? I know Switch has a movement of its own, so I'm going to run up 30 feet. Does that put me immediately engaging with anything other than being 30 feet away from my intended target?
Unfortunately, no. It would put you 30 feet in front of them.
Okay, so that's perfect. I just want to be. I will level my rifle at the foliage one.
Okay.
And take a shot.
Okay, roll to hit.
Oh, and I was using sharpshooter for it. That is 19.
A 19? 19 does hit.
Okay. Oh, goodness. Remind me, since I don't have my character sheet, rifles are, it was D10s, correct?
It was 1d10.
Yeah, 1d10.
Unless you were pumping more into it.
Nope, not doing that right now. Okay, so 3 plus 2 plus 10 for the sharpshooter feat is 15 damage.
15 damage.
Okay, and then with Switch's bonus action, it switches, as part of the same bonus action, I can direct it to both shoot and walk or climb. So it's going to go 15 feet closer, which brings it within a 15-foot cone for its flamethrower. Each creature in the area must make a dexterity saving throw against my spell save DC. So 8 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3. So 16.
Yep.
16. Okay. First shiver is a 10. Second shiver is an 8. Both of them fail.
Okay. Sweet. So I rolled 3d8 because of its upgrade now. Those are d10s. Give me d8s. 14.
All right.
Can I also tell Jerry to come out?
Yes.
You've already used your movement, your bonus, and your action, so it is a bonus action to call out Jerry.
Okay.
So he'll have to come out on the next turn.
All right. I'll remember that.
So at the time being, you have now run up, a shot rings out, Swiss scurries up, flames the first two shivers. Right now their cold hounds manage to make the saves and not buck their riders. However, behind them still stands a much greater threat to them, and they are now charging through the fire towards Swiss. However, before they are still able to reach you, Ellanya, you meet them there. What do you do?
First, I'm going to send Fluffy to come after the middle guy, the 8th level. Yeah, the big guy.
Okay, he's in the back right now. So you have to pass through 4 threatened enemies in order to make it to him.
Okay, well then I'm just going to use Fluffy to help me take these guys out real quick then. And I'm going to use Flame Blade and attack one of them.
Okay, roll to hit.
That is a 7. Well, nope, that is a 14 because plus 7 for spell, so haha. And plus 8 because Riggs gave me inspiration, so ha ha ha.
Roll another
You can
d8.
use it only once.
Yes, I know, but I haven't used it yet.
Okay.
Where's my d8? Sorry, here we go.
Oh, do you want me to
It's
roll
an
it, or are you
8.
going to roll it? I will not roll it then.
Yes,
Parker,
that's a 22.
you watch Ellanya begin to reach out her hand and try to strike one of the creatures, and you see that her aim is just ever so slightly off, and you play just the correct note that kind of springs her, and she looks a little bit over, her hand goes to left and adjusts correctly. Your inspiration giving her just the right ability for her green flame blade to now impact the shiver. Please roll damage.
Since it was Alania's inspiration, it'll be her the war drum theme that I was doing for her back in the Battle of the Fall of Hobel.
Ah, there you are.
That was a 15 for damage.
15 damage. Okay. Okay. Well, daggum. This shiver up front has now taken a hefty hit.
And Fluffy.
Is that a bonus action?
Calling Fluffy?
No, Green Flame Blade.
No, that would be my spell.
Okay, because calling Fluffy would be a action.
Oh, so I can't call Fluffy. Lame!
Not unless you want to do it in the same... If you want to do it in the same round.
Specifically, Green Flame Blade is part of a standard action.
Okay. So I cannot call Fluffy at all if I've done the green flame.
Not in this first round.
Yeah, then no, I have to wait then.
Okay. Walter then. Walter, is he going to strike one of the incomings?
Oh, of course.
Roll to hit.
Oh god. Please, Walter. You always have bad luck. That is a 15. Again. No, oh wait, no, that was my metal dice. It was an 18. Ha! I couldn't see it because of shadowing in here.
18 does hit. Man, it really doesn't seem how high I put these creatures' ACs. You guys just don't roll lower than a 10. Ever.
You're welcome, Sawyer.
What do you mean? I always roll lower than 10. I just got nice metal dice now.
Roll damage, so roll a D8. Or, sorry, D6.
That is a 5.
This shiver on the right is looking rough now. He's barely hanging on, one arm kind of limp at its side as Walter kind of tears into it and then continues on. It's at this moment that your allies behind you now rush up and begin to strike at the creatures. Merdina, I suppose, actually. Merdina and Agi cover the distance, unable to continue... Merdina and Agi rush past you guys, drawing their weapons as they do, but unable to make a strike on them. They post up at the two shivers and begin to take side-by-side stances against each other. Dunma whips out his blow dart gun, steadies it.
Don't breathe in.
You can do it, Blow Darts. I believe in you.
The dart flies past the creature, but he does not swallow the dart. And as he puts it down, dang it. I need to practice with this
I'm
one.
so proud of you.
Shut up, Vall. Scorpio also pulls out his short bow, levels it, and misses as it goes flying past. You notice the tip, Vall, dripping with his signature poison made from the scorpions he keeps next to him. Flies past, misses. Tumblebrook also joins the two up front, and you see Edward Ludicius. You see Edward Ludicius draw a single dagger and kind of begin to make his way only halfway between everyone else. Parker, your parents right now also begin to hold back, along with Relic, who also draws his weapon.
The only sentence I wanted so badly right there is that, Parker, your father pulls out a RPG-7 rocket launcher.
Oh, I gotta get that in kind of instruments of war, I guess, and...
A Gatlin harp.
Oh my gosh.
The
Relic.
gun.
That's some heavy metal on that harp.
Relic actually right now reaches down for his weapon and realizes he is unarmed entirely and does not have his equipment with him, realizing he was not in shape to be fully armored at the time that he was acquired.
I would say not.
And so right now, he's hanging back right now with, my name is Tom Tibia, your parents, Janice Tunger, and all of them, including Luncia, are all hanging back, allowing the fighters to take the field. With that, Kruz, it is up to you.
So, am I still next to Parker, or did he move up?
You are 15 feet away from Parker.
I guess I'm going to move up to next to Parker. Who does that put me in line with?
No one in melee range yet.
Then that's just what I'm going to do at this point.
Okay, posting up right next to Parker.
I think, well, actually, I'm going to just hold up my shield and take a defensive stance in case I start throwing things.
Taking a defensive stance next to Parker, the creatures begin to descend upon them. First, the shivers. The one with the good arm, a 4. The one with the bad arm, a 13. Plus 3, 16. 16 for the time being struck at Walter. Does 16 hit Walter?
You actually have always had my character sheets for Walter.
has a 14 AC
No!
because he is unarmored and as a tiger.
Kruz, make him armor.
I throw him my shield. That gives him +2 to AC.
He just holds it in his mouth.
It conks him in the head and he falls to the ground.
I accidentally knock out Walter.
What team are you on, Kruz?
I thought you were gonna help me.
I rolled a nat 20 for throwing. It's not my fault. He rolled a 1 for catching.
He's a cat, not a
it's
dog.
just a critical hit.
They don't play fetch.
Critical gambit.
And Walter has 42 HP, by the way.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the shield critical hit that Kruz just threw knocked him straight into the field where he was eaten by the bushes.
Ellanya's gonna knock you guys out when she's done beating these guys up.
Walter is stabbed with the spear. He takes 9 points of piercing damage as it digs a little bit into his shoulder, but he is readying himself.
I'm telling you guys, if we get some shoulder pads, we'll be immortal in Sawyer's campaign.
You know, unfortunately, this is a common descriptor for me. Shoulders are just kind of the place that you'd leave unarmored, I guess.
I'm gonna make a note of that right now. Shoulder pads.
Yep, Sawyer, known shoulder enthusiast.
Let's do like 80 shoulder pads on everybody.
It's why I mentioned him on my armor upgrade. I know where he goes for it.
I need Ellanya and Walter with, I guess, Agi and Merdina. I need all of these characters to make strength saving throws.
That was a 9 for Walter. No! And a 20 for Ellanya!
Crit net.
Crit net!
Wait. Natural 20 or
Natural 20, crit net!
Yes.
crit
And
net?
well, that's a -1, so that's a 19.
Okay.
Fail. Crit fail. You failed to
Awkward
crit.
crit net.
Ellanya's strong at spells, alright? Not the arm muscles.
Okay, well, right now, as the bullfrogs leap and they land right next to you, Ellanya, you would know these as moss toads. These large-sized creatures land besides both of you. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. The other 3 take 12 points and are knocked prone by the force of these creatures landing next to them. And to this point, the scale fang comes up. Ellanya, call it high or low.
Hi.
Okay. I need... Okay, actually. Wow, that doesn't work at all. Okay.
Oh.
With advantage, because he's prone, I need Walter to make a strength saving... Grappling in 5e. I'm having a massive brain fart. Athletics check. Make an athletics.
That was a 10, plus whatever he has for athletics. Probably nothing.
Is that a contested check, Sawyer?
It is a contested check.
With Walter looking ganged up on a little bit, I'm actually going to use my reaction to use cutting words. Are they within 60 feet of me?
They are within 60 feet of you.
Then yeah, I'll use my reaction to use cutting words, and I will roll a d8, and I will subtract that from the creature's
Please
roll.
do.
So please subtract a 4.
With a 4, it brings him down to 9. With that, the creature reaches down for Walter, misses his grapple attempt, as Walter is able to squirm his way out. How do you cutting words this creature as it goes for Walter?
Or describe the creature again.
It is a large-sized, 6-armed reptilian. Kind of a snake-like back end with legs. Almost like a centipede.
Reptilians typically have a exterior eardrum, so anything sharp, like the highest sharp note I can get on there.
Okay. Reefing across your strings, the creature looks up and misses Walter. Having attempted its grapple and missed, it then results to simply striking at him. The fist reaches back and swings down, striking Walter in the head. He takes 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god, no!
And with that, the creatures have ended their turn.
Oh.
Parker, it is up to you. The creatures are now 15 feet away from you.
Parker will look up at Kruz. Kruz, no matter what, we must protect the people.
That's the goal, right? That's what we were doing the whole time, wasn't it?
Yes, but I'm being dramatic, damn it.
The bard being dramatic? Never.
This is no time for your bardic drama.
Not everyone can be so battle-hardened.
I mean, there is a time and a place, if you wouldn't mind.
And I will actually use my action to commit the dodge action. And then I will use my bonus action to cast the spell Hex.
Who are you hexing?
The large one.
All right.
You'll just kind of see like a darker aura kind of like go over the creature. And he will have disadvantage on strength throws or strength. Any strength checks he makes.
Dang. Duly noted. All right. Is there anything else?
No, that will end my turn.
Huum.
Describe the layout of the scale fist and the enemies nearby.
Currently, the two toads landing to the left and to the right have knocked down Agi, Merdina, Walter, Ellanya managing to keep her feet. The Scowl Fang has now made its way in between the two toads and has now begun to engage Walter directly. The two shivers are trying to get past everything else.
How far are the toads from the scale fist?
5 feet.
5 feet? So if I were to be point blank with the scale fang, I would be 10 feet away from either toad?
Yes.
All right. Huum starts humming, and he starts getting faster as he draws out his hand axe and sprints straight for the scale fang's face.
All right.
And he opens his mouth and he roars point blank at him. I'm going to need a will saving throw for the scale fang and both the toads.
That is awesome. That is so cool. I just imagine that. Yeah, oh my god, that is so cool. I want to draw that.
Okay. The Scale Fang looks down, grimacing, and hisses back at you. One toad to your left looks back, lets out this reverberating ribbit out of anger towards you. The other one now descends into this look of fear.
What were the first two rolls?
19 and 19, and then a 4. Unfortunate. What was your DC, sir?
16.
Yes.
Oh well. So that one is frightened of me and cannot approach anywhere towards my direction until the start of my next turn.
Which literally eliminates practically every single direction it has, so well done, sir.
All right. So that's my turn.
All right, Ghastgar, it is up to you.
So, bonus action, call out Jerry. Do you want me to roll initiative for him?
He'll go immediately after you.
Okay. Jerry, come on out. We need some help, and some flames would be real helpful.
He emerges.
And I continue to take some more shots fired with my hunting rifle at my earlier targets.
Okay, roll to hit.
Actually, yeah. We'll do that. Okay. And still using the sharpshooter feat.
All right.
Ooh, but it's a nat 1.
Natural 1.
Critical gambit.
Don't you dare! I don't know what just happened, but don't you dare.
No, I am
Do
totally
it.
not risking my
Don't
gun.
ignore
it.
Riggs. Don't.
Do it.
Smart man.
There's no fractures around here to throw it down. You're okay. The only thing that possibly could happen is shoot yourself in the tail.
No, but there's a field that eats things, and it can
Yes.
accidentally get thrown into there.
Yes.
Hey, look
the
at that.
Uncooked spaghetti field.
Hey, it's the fun field.
God,
Elliot, shut
dang
up.
it.
That's all
didn't
we
real-
fields are, is uncooked spaghetti.
Yeah. You didn't realize this?
Stop.
I feel like there's more
never forget
processes missing than just uncooked spaghetti.
Uncooked spaghetti.
It's
Uncooked, unprepared spaghetti fields.
it's,
yes.
it's water.
It is spaghetti in the raw form.
yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Add hot water. Boom. Noodle.
I can honestly say that's uncooked toast.
Uncooked toast.
Also that.
I could say that's the first stage of some really good beer.
There you go.
I pull the trigger and I feel the weapon not go, and I begin to wonder if I forgot to activate my infusion for the day, and that there's not the bullet inside there that I thought there was, and I am frustrated with my gun for not working as it should, and I yell out in frustration, "Jerry, burn them! Burn them with fire!"
Okay, right now you are gesturing towards a lot of people and a lot of targets.
I am pointing at the ones that burn the ones with leaves. Burn them with fire.
With that, Jerry will move his 40-foot movement speed and attempt to make a few strikes.
Okay, I had fire elemental sheet up. Where did it go?
Same place your character sheet went.
Whoosh.
Oh, you know those screw it buttons? I want one that just says whoosh in like Microsoft Sam.
Oh my god. I'll be back.
We made a full 180 to whoosh.
Okay.
I feel like you'd need more than one tone of whoosh.
No, exactly one tone.
Okay, so it's doing its 2 touch attacks. I'm assuming it's going in for a hug.
What are we fighting here? I forget what they're called.
You're fighting 2 shivers, 2 moss toads, and 1 scowlfang.
Well, the first one was a 12.
12 does not hit!
And the second one was a 21.
Hey, a 21 will hit, but I'll take that.
Okay.
Jerry is clearly right-handed.
2d6 plus 3.
Yo, I just realized neither one of you called your elementals in your first turn. I just want that said now.
Me.
11.
11 damage.
And if the target is a creature or a flammable object, it ignites until the creature takes an action to douse the fire. The target takes 5 or 1d10 fire damage at the start of each of its turns.
My goodness, he ignites in fire, and you see that he is badly injured, and that there is very little chance of us surviving that next wave of fire that will encompass him next turn. And with that, does that wrap your turn and Jerry's up?
Yep,
Wonderful.
it does.
Ellanya.
Okay, I am going to make sure... I'm going to send Jerry to go attack the closest creature to me. Actually, the shiver that I almost had out.
You're gonna send Jerry?
Jerry or Fluffy?
Or not Jerry, sorry, Fluffy. Sorry, Jerry, not you. I meant Fluffy. Sorry, stay doing what you're doing.
Hey, you've got your own elemental.
I'm sorry, Ghastgar. I didn't mean to. I'm used to Jerry. Fluffy,
Fluffy
darling, come this
sulks
way.
away thinking he's not loved.
No, Fluffy, come back. You're so beautiful and wonderful. Come back. I love you. Come attack this creature.
Is that the straw that broke the camel's back for this poll we have going?
Hush your mouth, Sawyer. No.
All right. Fluffy emerges from the ground once again, and you are designating him to strike which target?
The shiver that I almost got out. That's like sitting there like, almost dead. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one? Okay,
I learned my
go.
lesson.
Roll. Roll it.
I mean, maybe this is meta, but it's probably going to die at the beginning of his next turn. So you might want to put your attack somewhere else.
Is the 8th level creature closer yet?
So it goes the 2 shivers, and then 5 feet behind them is the toads, and then 5 feet behind the toads, or kind of in between them, is the scowlfang.
Well, I'm gonna send him at Scalfang because he's an earth elemental. He can just travel through the earth and attack it, and at least that will help us when it gets closer.
Hopefully he doesn't travel through the wheat field or he'll never come back.
No.
Great, straight line. Roll to hit.
That is 11 plus... Oh, no. I don't know his stats. Sorry, guys. I'm all just jumbled with my stuff today. So... Earth Elemental. Hold on. Sorry.
This is combat.
Hey, don't judge me. I usually have all my stuff, but I'm kind of discombobulated right now. Earth,
No, I know. I'm just saying this is what happens in combat.
until 5e. Alright, hold up 1 second. Someday over the rainbow. Okay, so that is a +5, so that is a 16.
16 does not hit.
No!
Lola?
Yes!
It's a +8 to hit.
Really? Ha! Haha, that's 19 then. Thank you. I must be looking at the wrong sheet.
19 does hit.
Sucker. Thank you, Elliot.
Please roll damage.
2d8 + 5.
Thank you. That's a 1, a 3, so that's 8.
8 damage.
Also, the Earth Elemental makes 2 slam attacks.
Yes, he does. That's a 20 to hit.
Natural 20?
Yeah, +8, so 28.
Natural 20 crit hit? That's a crit, madame. Please roll your damage and double
Yeah,
it.
that's because Fluffy can get a natural 20 with hits. Ellanya can't. Okay, that is a 2. A 7. And that's +5 for his hit?
+5 to his damage,
Yeah,
yes.
9. So that's 14, double it, that's 28.
Rocks fall.
Fluffy with the pull, ha ha ha. Annihilate everything.
2 strikes, one to the gut, one to the head of this creature, has it reeling back. Very well done.
Oh, go Fluffy!
At this time, rising from the ground is Agi and Merdina. They both will try to strike the 2 moss toads before them. Unfortunately, with a 2 and a 7, neither one of them are able to connect. Dunma is actually able to successfully strike the shiver that is now making its way to the left, the one that is not on fire, striking it for 8 damage. And with that, Relic again takes a defensive stance in front of the rest of those who he is trying to protect. Tumblebrook and Scorpio also hits. Tumblebrook with a 7 does not. The creature fails its save against the poison and takes an additional 3 damage, bringing the total up to 10. Very good. Seems the sellswords are also trying to do their part. With that, Kruz, it is your turn.
Okay, what's within 30 feet of me?
Within 30 feet of you, you have the 2 shivers and the 2 moss toads.
So the big guy's dead already?
No, the big guy is not dead. He's just a little bit further.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to move into the shiver with the bad arm, and I'm going to attack him.
Right?
Holy crap. Does a 25 hit?
25 does hit.
All right.
Oh, Sawyer.
Yes, sir.
I think the shiver that Jerry went to go give a hug to was supposed to take 1d10 fire damage the moment Jerry entered its space. We'll just say 5 fire damage to call it its average. Applied to it.
Okay, well, it is looking even more worse than it previously was,
Okay.
as it is down to now 1 HP from 6.
Yay.
All right, Kruz, you see an opportunity to finish this creature off, ergo your damage will kill it no matter what you roll. So, well done. How do you kill this?
So I guess I'm just going to cleave this dude right in half.
Okay. Cutting him in half, falls to the ground, both halves continue to burn. Well done.
Oh, no. Can I do it? Can I do it to the point where I cleave him in half and he falls into the wheat field, like both halves, just right into the wheat fields on each side of the road?
Sure.
We
Adding a little flavor to it, you guys do see the flaming pieces of the shiver fly off into both sides of the field, and you do see the tendrils of the field's barley wrap around them and then bring them down, extinguishing the flame as it does.
Jerry, I hope you saw that. Don't go in there.
You do see Jerry's eyes kind of squint curiously at it. But he's never seen wheat fields. He doesn't even know what wheat is by this point. He was born like 4 days ago, so...
No, it's been longer than that. It's got to be a week, right?
No, it's got to be at least
Not
2.
since Jerry.
This is the long. This
It's
feels
been
so
about
good.
4 days.
So many unprocessed Cheerios.
His high chair must be filled with them.
Okay.
I'm-
And is that end your turn?
Before I do, I'm going to look over at Parker and go, Parker, if we could harvest this wheat, I bet you would make one killer beer or even a better whiskey.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, you got times for dramatic, but you don't got time on commenting on all this stuff? At least it's not coffee beans, because then I'd be trying to make into coffee.
But would the beer that came from it also try to murder you?
That's one
It's
heck of a
flubber.
hangover.
It's flubber inside of you.
Hypothetically, let's go with yes.
So would I have to, would we be brewing a monster then?
A beer monster?
Homebrew beer monster.
Oh my goodness.
Where's
Yeah.
Edward's box when we need it?
Gosh. Please don't. It's on Edward. It is on
Yeah,
Edward,
Edward has
sir.
it, thank God.
And this is why we're not allowed to have the box.
Of which I guess a quick point of order. Edward has not moved from his midway between the creatures and those who are fighting and those who are staying back. He's still just kind of standing there in between.
I'm going to use my bonus action to fall into a defensive stance again.
Yeah, wait. Why hasn't Kruz as a fighter been utilizing his superiority die? That's like all
I don't think
thus far.
I don't think I've chosen that.
To be fair, this is like the third combat we've had, so...
I didn't take Battlemaster. Battlemaster is the one that chooses superior dice.
I believe Kruz is a champion, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought
Which-
that was just a fighter thing.
No, it's Battlemaster.
It is a fighter archetype thing.
Or you can give it to rogues and have even more weird sneak attacks.
No, you may not. Shut
Yes,
up.
you can. Actually, I'm thinking now.
I'm supposed to be critting on a 19 or a 20.
That's like your first thing, dude.
I completely forgot about that.
With that, the enemies now. The Lone Shiver, now attacking Agi. With a 19,
Hold on. I
No,
will
you.
use a reaction.
please roll your d8 for cutting words.
19 sounds high. Please subtract a 1.
19 plus 4 minus 1, 23 does still hit Agi.
Parker's helping.
Parker's or something.
With an 11 against Agi, you see the spear dig kind of down to the bottom left of kind of the breastplate into the side. And you see Agi kind of grab it, stopping it from going any further, and force it out. And you see her grimace in pain. That was a hefty hit.
Kidney shot.
I need, let's see. Actually, I need to make sure I hit. Ellanya, does an 18 hit you?
Yeah. Of course.
Ba, 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 ba.
Please roll an athletics check.
Oh, God. Oh, that's another natural 20. I am not kidding.
Natural
minus
20
one,
crit
that's
hit.
19 again.
Okay. Alright, Ellanya, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as the toad's tongue smashes into you, but you are able to resist being swallowed.
You said 5?
The second toad... What?
Is it 5 damage?
Oh, yeah, 5.
Got you.
Yes. The second toad attempts to swallow Merdina, but Merdina is able to dodge out of the way using her small frame. Now, what is Walter going to do now? Just so we could specify this, because now it's kind of zooming in on this scene.
Is there anything close to Walter?
He's between 2 large toads and has a massive scale thing in front of him.
Oh, God. He is so weak. Okay. He's gonna take out the weaker toad.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Come on, baby. Oh no, that was a 3.
A 3. He chomps on the leg of the moss toad, but cannot get through the thick rock-covered hide. However, in standing up, he is no
Sawyer?
longer prone. Yes, sir.
Which one of these toads is the one that's afraid of me?
The one on the right.
The one that is currently chomping
Being
on Verdino?
attacked. The one on the right is fighting Ellanya.
Okay, please roll with disadvantage because it can still see me.
Ooh. I thought it was just against you. Well, that is a 5, sir.
It's styled upon.
All right, fair enough. Ellanya, add those 5 bludgeoning back to your health as you have, by the fear of one Huum, have been spared such a hit.
Oh, thank you, Huum.
Now, that's a natural 1 to try to strike Walter.
Oh.
Do it. Gambit. You won't
Critical
do it.
gambit.
Critical gambit.
Yeah, the DM
Should
critical
I?
gambit.
Oh, well
This is
then.
a turn of events.
I
Ladies
feel
and
like the
gentlemen.
DM must critical gambit.
I shall critical gambit.
Oh. He's silent.
Is the 7.
Yes! Yes!
With a 7 on the first strike of its multi-attack, it swings now down towards Walter. Walter dodging out of the way. The large scale fang then tries to adjust itself, moving to the left and not realizing that its long tail has now slipped into the barley field. And now the barley begins to now wrap around
Hi,
the back
Felicia.
end of it. And it looks back, realizing it has now been rooted as it is now grappled.
Yes.
And that ends its turn.
Fluffy.
As it's now
humble.
being dragged into the field further and further.
Oh, it's getting dragged in farther.
Would this
Oh.
make the scale fang end its turn within 5 feet of me?
No.
I was going to use that. All right.
It is slowly being now dragged 5 feet to its left as it's now been pulled out of range of Walter.
Get off scot-free this time, big monster.
You say scot-free, but it is right now being literally dragged into a field of death. I don't think that's off scot-free. It's just a different kind of Scot. Or however that freaking saying works.
Yes, let's go with that.
Which would have been the more merciful death?
It's like a Tootsie Pop. The world may never know.
I love
Jump into the wheat field and
like that.
see how you die. And then you can compare.
No thanks. I'm good.
Oh, come on, Divineling. Come on, you can explore a couple different deaths.
Yes, but I have no recollection of my previous lives, so I'm not exactly sure if I want to do such an act.
He can be our own Theratonot.
I mean, last time he died, he woke up as a mongoose. What happens if next time he dies, he wakes up as like a field mouse?
I mean, this is a question that Ghastgar has for Edward,
Yes.
but the moment has never been right.
On the other hand, we can just start killing and see what happens.
I vote for killing. Let's keep killing things.
You would, you murder hobo.
With that, the enemies have completed their turn. Moving back up to the top of the order, Parker, it is up to you.
So Kruz went forward without me. Not without me per se. I was like I was going up there anyway. I'm going to drop back 10 feet. To more like separate myself from the action. That would still put the closest enemy like what, 25 feet away still?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ready an action.
Okay.
Any monster that does break away from the main group, I'm going to hit him with an Eldritch Blast.
All right.
But as a readied action.
Okay. As a set and ready to action, Parker, you take up a position. Huum, you are amidst the three. The one toad looks at you now, shaking the fear from its eyes. What do you do?
Well, it had an option to run away from me. And if it is no longer afraid of me, I will put the fear back into it as I go to kill it. So Huum will post up and take a swing.
Roll to hit.
That is a natural 20 for a 27.
Natural 20, crit hit!
Crit hit.
All right.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's fine. The app automatically adds your crit dice.
Ah,
So that's a 7 for the hand axe.
okay.
Sneak attack doubled or no?
Yes, sneak attack doubles.
Okay.
Auto crit.
Yes.
That's what makes rogues so scary.
So that would be 12 more damage from the sneak attack.
So 19 in total.
Yes.
Nice.
With 19, you clap this thing in its eye, and you see it kind of recede back and kind of pop back out, and it is like bleeding from the eye, and you see it look over at you, and you see that was a expert hit on it. That is most likely going to cause some penalties to it in its up and coming turn. Well done.
By the way, 2-weapon fighting. I'm now going to kick out with my clawed foot. I'm going to catch it in the other eye.
Roll to hit.
You think I'm fighting fair? Heck no. That spun so close to another 20. That is a 14 to hit.
14 does not hit.
All right. Is there currently an ally next to the target?
There is.
Okay, so I'm going to roll again, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I love rogues in the system. A 16 to hit.
16 meets armor class, sir.
Mere beat.
6 more points to damage.
6 more points of damage.
Nice.
Rogues are dumb. I love this game.
All right, with 6 more points dealt to this creature's face as you just dig in with your clawed foot, it is not looking so hot after that. Well done, sir. Well done. Ghastgar, it is up to you.
Yes. Any more fire weak looking enemies?
The 2 moss toads are still there.
Okay. Yep. Turning my focus now back towards them.
Okay.
First, I will take a shot with Swiss. Turn to the left and shoot the toad-looking things with your flamethrower. How far away are they from Swiss? Swiss should be 15 feet in front of me.
With 15 feet in front of you, that would put them 15 feet in front of the creature. The creatures as they kind of moved up a little bit more to attack the party.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Then it's going to stay right where it's at.
Okay. Mind you, there are also allies in front as Agi and Merdina, along with Ellanya, are engaging with it.
Okay, can Swiss get into a spot where he would be not blasting my friends?
If you were to move right up next to Ellanya or right up next to Agi, then it would have the ability to do so. But any kind of crossfire has Vall in the middle.
Okay, well...
Who gives you a thumbs up?
You see Swiss go scurrying up the path and pops up right next to Ellanya, hops up onto her shoulder, runs down an arm that I imagine is in some sort of defensive position, secures itself to her wrist, and suddenly blasts a jet of fire at these toads.
Nice.
The orientation was wrong. Ah!
All right. Do these toads need to make a dexterity save again?
Yes, 16, and any other enemies within a 15-foot cone.
Yes. Are you attempting to hit both of them? Will hit Vall, but it seems as though he has thrown up the peace sign and said it's okay.
Vall, you might want to move.
Well, unfortunately, Ghastgar, my turn is over and my movement has stopped. So, do it. Let's see if I can dodge your silly cannons.
All right, well, don't blame me then if you have a little less fur at the end of this. Okay, I blast.
Swordman, what's my save?
Dexterity 16 is what you need to make.
Got it on the die roll, 17 for a 23.
Vall, how do you dodge the fire?
I dodged the fire by kneeling and taking cover behind the nearby toad.
As you kneel down and take cover behind the toad, you suddenly find that the toad is no longer there, as it has leapt into the air, avoiding the fire, and the fire burns just the very tips of your ears, and your little ear furs are kind of on fire a little bit, not dealing any damage, but realizing that was kind of close.
Each creature that makes the save still takes half as much damage. I rolled 14 as total damage.
Oh, okay. Never mind. The fire was a little bit lower, Vall. You get burned in the face. Kind of bad.
No.
There goes your modeling career, Vall.
No, now he's got like a wicked scar on his face, and everybody thinks lions with scars on their face looks badass.
Yes, but we all know that they're the villain.
Scar! Oh my god!
Did you kill your brother? Did you throw him off a cliff?
You don't talk about what happens in the Sandlands.
Start singing Scar's song. Now listen to teacher.
The reason there's no siblings in the Sandlands.
Alright, now for my
How much
regular...
damage was that, Cordman?
7. It was half damage is 7. Now, is there any enemies with a clear line of fire with my hunting rifle at the moment?
Yes, you're able to target any of them at this point because they are large-sized creatures, or the Lone Shiver, or the Cold Hound that's now unattended.
Any of them looking worse for wear?
The most worse for wear is the toad that is now being wailed on by one Huum.
Is there any unengaged enemies?
Right now, the Scowfang is being dragged into the back. Ellanya is kind of right there next to the unattended Cold Hound and the one that's getting absolutely beat to crud for the Moss Toad. The other Moss Toad is being engaged by Agi and Merdina, and the Shiver that kind of made it a little bit past them is probably the least engaged out of all of them, though it also looks extremely terrified and still just trying to get out of dodge as fast as possible.
I'm going to shoot that one. No mercy.
Okay, roll to hit.
Using my sharpshooter feat. Oop. Off table. A dirty 20.
Nice. Roll damage. That does hit.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what I put these creatures' ACs at. You guys will just decimate them anyway. I've learned this lesson now.
Oh, oops, I rolled D8s, not D10s. I was like, I just rolled max damage. Nope, not
If,
really.
If we had swapped an attack roll and a skill check earlier, I would have had to go for the critical gambit.
Critical gambit, always best decision.
Okay, well, how does 20 damage sound?
How the frack did you get that?
Oops, actually, sorry, excuse me. Not that, because it's only 1 D10, not 2 D10, because I'm not doing that thing. Because I don't know, in all honesty, how my magic tech is without my character sheet directly in front of me. So, actually, it would be 19. Yeah.
-1 damage.
Yeah. It's I rolled a 7.
Okay.
Plus 10 with the sharpshooter feat. Plus 2 because of artificer infusions.
The shot rings out and goes straight in and out of the Shiver, dealing a hefty blow to this thing that is still just trying to get out of dodge.
Okay. Jerry, go hug the one I just shot.
Gary floofs over. Roll your D10.
Okay. Don't I roll? Oh, yeah.
Just to get that out of the way first.
That's a 10.
It's looking rough. You're leaving these things with 1 and 2 HP right now.
And
all right,
now,
roll
now
to
it
hit.
goes for its 2 attacks. 11 and a 22.
11 does not hit. The 22 does.
Okay, and 2d6 plus 3. 12.
12. Jerry sees a moment to finish this creature off.
I imagine I told Jerry to hug it. I imagine Jerry has just fallen down on this thing, engulfing it arms first, burying his face into the shiver's tummy, and it is now incinerating.
It dies, being completely incinerated by the fire.
Cremation. Brought to you by Jerry.
At least now we know what business Jerry would open if he could.
Yeah. I turned to Kruz. Kruz, I think we're in the wrong business. I think you might be in the wrong business with Jerry. I don't think he should be your personal forge. I think you should open a mortuary.
Well, seeing the type of business we're in, I think you're right.
Who says you can't do both? Can't have a forge and put bodies in it too.
Wouldn't that be like providing our own supply?
Here, this makes corpses. Here, this makes them go away.
Oh yeah. Hey, I used this sword to kill a guy. Now I gotta get rid of this. Can I purchase your mortuary package, please?
No, officer, I swear I did not kill him and then cremate him to burn up all the evidence.
This is like the mafia with having pig farms.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, Ellanya,
Yes.
you, Walter, and Fluffy, as your initiative tracker has grown threefold.
All right. Sorry. Remind me again what's right in front of me.
Right in front of you, you have the moss toad that whom Vall has beat to heck.
Oh. Can I just... Can I just pull a blade out and stab it?
Sure.
Haha! I'm gonna do that.
If I recall, you have a blade on the other side of your staff.
I do. So I'll just pull my staff around. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
What was that? Sorry, I didn't hear you. You broke up.
That is what Green Flame Blade does.
Yeah, but then I'd use another spell slot. And I only have 3 spell slots for 2nd level, so I don't want to do that.
It's a cantrip.
No, it's not. It's a spell on my sheet. It says Flame Blade right here. 2nd level. 3 slots.
Oh, Flame Blade. Flame Blade, sorry.
Oh!
I was thinking of the colored version, the green one.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, that's why I
Unfortunately,
got so
colors
confused.
really do matter in D&D when it comes to spells. Green, red.
Now in Technicolor. I'm sorry. I'm dumb.
It's okay. Alright, so roll to hit.
Yes, sir. Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Oh, hey now there, Sawyer.
My bad.
That was a 14.
14. 14 does not hit.
Oh, God, no!
A good attempt. It ricochets off of one of the boulders that encompass the skin of this creature. It literally looks like just a plot of land kind of emerged and then began to hop around. It's kind of unnerving.
Well, yeah, that was an action. Never mind. Go ahead.
Nope. And then do you command Fluffy to do something with your bonus action?
Yeah, I want him to hit that big boy he hit last time again.
Okay, roll to hit.
That was a 16 plus 8. So
Roll with advantage because it is now grappled.
okay. That was a 1, so I'm gonna keep the 16.
All right.
So
16 does hit.
sorry. Oh my goodness.
Hey, die on your own time.
Roll the dice. Don't eat the dice.
5.
Or at least make sure the dice go down the right pipe.
5 again. 10, 15 for the first hit.
15 damage? Okay.
Alright, go clear your esophagus. God can't. All I have is humor.
Okay, the mic was muted. Ha. Alright, go ahead.
All right. With that, swing again.
Here goes another coughing fit.
Shut up! 6 plus 8.
14 does not hit.
Okay.
Lola, are you taking massive bong hits over there? Okay.
No! I literally went to laugh and I swallowed my own spit and now I'm dying. But it went down the wrong tube, you know? Yeah. We're good. We're fine.
With that,
That's what he said.
did you roll with advantage?
For my second hit? No, I totally forgot. Sorry. No, that was 6 again, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Careening into the chest of this creature as its arms now are fighting against the wheat. The second hit almost finishes it off, but it manages to dodge out of the way just ever so slightly. And with that, Walter is up next.
And Walter hit the same creature.
Go for it.
Okay, baby, come on. Oh no, that was a 2.
All right, roll with advantage continued.
Oh god, come on, Walter. Oh, that was a 17. Haha.
17 does hit.
Yes.
Roll damage.
Okay, come on, baby. Come on, baby. That was a 7.
Okay. Plus,
Oh, I don't have Walter's sheet up. You have it, remember?
yes. Plus 4 is
11.
7 plus 4.
11.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
With 11 on the dot, Walter sees an opportunity to finish this creature off.
Ooh, I imagine he does that little butt wiggle, like he's gonna pounce on something, you know what I mean? And then he just, like, grabs that thing's head and just, like, twists it super hard.
Snapping the neck, the creature then goes limp. Its 6 arms now not fighting against the wheat. The body is then beginning to be dragged, not only into the wheat field now, but you see down into the ground itself, as if quicksand. Well done.
Go Walter and Fluffy. Those two are, like, OP together.
With that, Medina, do I have to do every natural one as a critical gambit?
Yes. I feel like NPCs have, like, just automatically must.
Auto gambit.
This will help clear the backlog.
All right. Critical gambit. A 12
Of
now,
NPCs?
plus 5. 17 turns a natural 1 into a hit. Well done, Medina.
He can be making this up. I have no clue how his stuff works. It is so convoluted.
Nope.
Say 9. Agi misses again, growing ever more frustrated that she cannot seem to hit absolutely anything.
Get mad. Stay mad.
Duma does hit. Does not. 18 plus.
Dice over there.
Okay. Sorry, I have my little tray of dice. With that, Tumblebrook and Scorpio let loose arrows once again. The 2 arrows finding purchase, both of them, on the leftmost moss toad, dealing 15 damage to it. Agi misses with her great axe. Medina with her great axe lands a hefty hit for 12 more damage. Edward Ludicius is still maintaining a point between the 2 fighting parties. All the while, Blow Darts shoots a dart directly into the left eye of the leftmost moss toad with a critical and hits it for 9 damage.
Everybody erupts in
That's
cheers.
all he does on a crit? Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, when you roll a 1 on a d6, it doesn't still wind up getting you a lot.
I do more than that, not on a crit.
Everyone erupts into cheers because finally Blow Dart hit something that wasn't his uvula.
That's fair. No,
Woo!
10 damage, I'm sorry.
The crowds go wild.
It's extremely injured.
Also,
Kruz.
Ghastgar, you have a gun. He has a blow dart.
Hey, be proficient with your weapon.
Yeah, why hasn't he put little grenades on the end of his darts?
Exactly, blow darts. I could fix that up for you.
Because if he inhaled that one time, his head wouldn't be here. He'd be on the roof of that tavern.
Just little balls of nitroglycerin flying at people.
Those are some deadly spitballs.
Ghastgar now has an idea that he's gonna work on in his free time.
Watch as I blow my mind.
Oh my goodness.
We
Nice.
didn't mean literally.
All right, with that, back to the top of the order, Parker.
Wait, I haven't gone yet.
Oh, have you not gone?
No.
Okay, then I completely screwed up. Kruz, it is up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna move to the next creature closest to me.
Okay. Next creature closest to you right now would be the moss toad.
Okay.
That has been being wailed on by Ellanya.
How many feet away was that?
That was 5 feet from you.
Okay, I'm gonna attack him.
Okay, I rolled a hit.
That is. Dang it! I rolled an 18, so
18 does it?
yes, 18 plus 8 plus yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to deal 13 damage to him.
Okay. 13 damage.
Does that kill him?
Oh, this thing is knocking on death's door.
All right, I'm going to use my extra attack.
Okay.
That is a 17 on the dice.
That hits.
Okay, then I'm going to deal 14 damage to him.
An opportunity to finish it off.
I'm just going to stab straight through his skull.
All right.
Okay, I'm not
With
done.
that-
I'm not done.
Okay.
What is the closest creature next to me now?
It'd be the moss toad to the left.
All right, I'm going to run to him, use my action surge to attack him.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Hey.
That is an 18 on the die. Why can't I crit? And another 14 damage.
Okay. Okay. This creature is also not looking too good at this point. Well done. Now it is the enemies. Kruz,
hold on.
having now been
Wait,
attacked.
Sawyer.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Action surge. He gets
Yes.
another swing.
Oh. Make your other swing set.
that is correct.
Yep.
Finally, 19 on the die.
Only took you 4
It
die.
only took me 4. And that is. Oh, I'm using.
Natural 19 critical hit.
Okay.
Fighter critical?
And that is a.
Crit.
The crit of champions.
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
And that is an 8 on the die, so 8 plus 7, that is 15.
Okay. And because it's crit, double it.
So 30. Or rolling again, that's a 5.
Unless you already doubled it.
That is a giant bonk.
So wait, do you say a 5 plus 7 or is that an 8 plus 7?
8 plus 7, which is 15.
Okay,
doubled.
15 times 2, 30.
30 damage.
Sir, you see an opportunity to finish this creature off.
I'm sliding in under his mouth, and I'm going to use my sword to like go through his chin and pop the blade out right between his eyes.
All right. With that, you're able to finish the moss toads off in one turn, both of them falling to the ground, dead at your feet. Well done. Well done. Right now, leaving only the remaining shiver. No, not even the shiver. Or the 2 remaining cold hounds that are right now both on fire still, mind you. And
Wait, they're on fire from what?
yes, they are all on fire because they were both, the cold hounds were what the shivers were riding on. When Jerry entered their space, they both caught on fire.
call that a hot
However, the
dog.
shivers did not actually have the amount of control or ability to run and or stab and fight. So they've now just kind of been standing there on fire this whole time.
Oh my god, you know that, what is that? I think it's a Mickey Mouse theme song where it's like hot dog, hot diggity dog. Like, just play that the whole time.
Hot dog,
All right,
hot
and
dog,
at
hot
this point, let me
dog.
just...
Yes, you know it!
I have young children. I know of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Wow. And with that, both of them literally just yeet off into the fields and are immediately encompassed by the wheat and are sucked into the ground almost immediately.
Well, the fire went
Bye,
out,
Felicia
so they're
number
not
2.
burning to death anymore.
Yep, nope, now they're just suffocating. And being impaled at the same time.
So much
But
better.
It's fine.
Ow.
And with that, yes, combat has now come to a close. The large Scalfang is slowly being dragged still into the field, should anyone want to act on it.
Ghastgar, get Jerry. That is a, level 7 monster? That thing is worth money. Quickly.
I am not sending Jerry out into that field.
He is a fire elemental and they are plants. Move your butt.
Jerry, can you hover in the air?
You see him hover like 5 feet off the ground.
Is that taller? That's not taller than the barley. How tall is the barley?
Barley's about 5 foot tall, maybe 6.
Jerry, punch the barley, but withdraw your hand real fast.
Ghastgar, go now. Shut up.
Jerry wanders over to where the body's being sucked in, and as he kind of like shadow boxes at the wheat, the stalks that catch on fire immediately suck down into the ground. And it's as Jerry just kind of like puts his hand out and kind of like swishes a couple times, the barley continues to suck in. A few of the tendrils try to grab him, but he's simply made out of fire, and they just cannot grab anything and just retreat back after catching on fire.
So, Jerry, this is great. Let's listen to our friend Huum Vall and see if you can set that thing free for it to come this way. Make it to where the only path is directly to us.
Burning a small circle around the body, the barley heads themselves are cleared out, and you are able to see the body now just disappearing into dirt. However, it has not stopped it from being pulled down by whatever is beneath the surface, even though the stalks may now not longer exist.
Actually, Huum will make a running jump.
Okay.
How far away is it?
Right now, of this creature, the only top, 5 feet of it is now remaining.
How far away is the creature from myself?
Oh, it is 10 feet.
10 feet? Okay, I hop next to it where the area is cleared and I start to pull it against that.
Okay, roll a strength check.
I want it. I want it real bad.
I want it.
18?
18. With an 18, you stop it from being pulled further, but don't make any progress really against it.
Quiz, why don't you transform and get bigger and help pull? Because Swiss can do that. I have to expend a... It just says spell slot. It doesn't say what level, so I'm assuming cantrip.
We will count that as long as you expend a cantrip bop from one of your cantrip drives, it will allow it to happen.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Okay.
I do that.
Okay, Ellanya, what are you doing?
So is Parker close to me?
He's 15 feet from you.
Okay. Ellanya is going to run and just kind of hug Parker for helping Walter, and she's gonna back up, grab his shoulders, be like, "Thank you so much for helping Walter. I do need healing."
Oh no! Don't mention it. Here, let me try something.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I will reach out and I touch you, and you heal for 8 damage. Do you feel better?
Yes, I do feel a lot better. Thank you.
While everybody's doing that, Kruz is going to be looking over the bodies for anything he can salvage. Any monster parts.
The big red butt, get it over here.
Kruz doesn't have a big red butt.
He turns around, looks at his butt, questioningly.
Pulls the wing out of the way, going, "I don't have a big butt. I'm commonly
jiggles.
told that I have no butt.
That's canon now.
Hidden by a tail."
The tail makes the...
Do you know how hard it is to fly with a big butt?
But you got a tail like that in the way.
That's fair.
Just hold it up over your shoulder, lean forward,
Who's got
it's fine.
thick tail?
That tail be thick.
What you guys don't know is dragonborns fly around at night and they poo like birds. They find something.
This is now canon.
Flight of the Dragonborn. And you never want to find.
And you'll never see it you'll just know when you get hit by it.
Did you fly specifically over the Reinhardt Castle when you did this? I need to know.
I can't tell you where because then people will know. I don't want to get shot at. All I'm saying is, if you're walking around at night, just make sure to know that if it's at night, you can't see what's above you.
Ellanya's looking at him in horror, like, oh.
So all those times that
wait.
James just disappeared in the night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A Kruz flapping away.
It's that window washer at like the 18th level of the freaking Sun Metal Estate looking like, what are these birds eating? This is so big.
Not even that. Just what are these birds?
What are these birds?
Somebody,
Yeah.
you air crocker.
Oh my god.
Sick of this. Oh, all right. You have yelled out to Kruz. Kruz, you're right now perusing the two monsters with whom now having yelled at you. Do you do anything, or do you just straight up ignore him?
Do you want the monster parts or not?
I'm going to go over to him and get some monster parts. And then go back to the moss toads and start salvaging them for leather and whatever.
Right now, Vall's arms are straining as his feet are being dug under the ground, as the creature's now still being sucked into the ground, and he's looking at you with a very frustrated look as he's being dragged into the field still with this
Kruz
thing.
will go save him.
Ghastgar, what is your bonus that your creation is able to provide here?
Okay, let's take a look, because I really don't know. I've not used Swiss in such a way. So treat all its ability scores as 10, so plus 0. So it has ability scores. So what you want me to roll a strength check?
All three of you roll strength checks.
Parker will squat down and look at Walter. Walter, do you need healing?
Walter looks up at you with a massive gash in his side.
I thought I couldn't heal Walter. In my first episode, I tried to heal him and I couldn't because he's a spirit tiger, isn't he? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but...
Oh, then get Walter.
Sawyer, question for you, because this may affect if I can use Flash of Genius. Are there like any roots exposed that seem to be attached?
To the creature itself?
Yes.
No.
21, by the way.
21.
Is there anything like noticeable that seems to be attached pulling this thing in, or does it just appear to be the ground itself?
Using the intelligence that you have, you're able to deduce most likely that there are something, roots or otherwise, grasped at the tail of this creature, pulling it down below the surface of the soil. And the soil is being manipulated in a way to make it fluid, to allow this.
I rolled a 23 strength check for helping Huum.
Okay.
Swiss rolled a 12, and I'm just trying to think how I might be able to use Flash of Genius to, like, maybe even just give some sort of instruction. Hey, oh wait, no. Kruz, with your sword, jab it in by, chop off its tail.
Okay, I will. What do I roll to chop off its tail?
Well, okay, yeah. So how do you want to...
Okay. Now wait a sec. Kruz, as you begin to pull it, Vall, you as well, you realize that both of you are pulling this creature now back out of the ground. Your combined strengths are removing it from the ground itself, with a combined of 40 and higher. So you do see more of the creature now beginning to expose itself from the ground in this weird tug of war.
I'm getting action surge to give it another pull.
Lies, you've already used that today.
I know.
Okay, so...
You can't give me hope.
You know who we forgot about this whole time again? Take a guess.
Relic.
Fluffy?
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Ready for
No,
combat.
Relic.
We talked about
I-
this.
Relic
Yep.
popped out
I
of the
addressed
shell.
Relic at the beginning.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh no.
He did not have his weapons with him.
Oh.
Yep, because he
He was in
smoking.
battle, right?
Yeah, that's why he was using his shell.
Sorry.
He was all.
Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No. I had that written in my notes specifically. Do not forget relic.
Oh!
I literally had all of them written here, all my NPCs and where they were going and what they were doing to try to make it as even as possible. All right.
Sorry.
So now,
Ghastgar wanders over to Edward.
okay.
You know, for supposedly being a god, you sure were pretty worthless in the fight. And then continues, and then wanders off.
See him sheath his dagger. Pay no heed to you. You two, make another strength check.
Oh my god.
Swiss is still polling with them. Yeah.
Roll with it.
That's another 21.
9.
Perfect.
Ellanya,
Yes.
should we help them pull the corpse out of the earth?
I feel like that's a bad idea, just because, like, I feel like it's still getting dragged down, and what if we get sucked in with it? I can send Fluffy to help.
Fluffy looks
I
down
don't-
at you.
I don't
I
disagree.
was gonna send Fluffy to help Sawyer. Dang, you took the words right out of my mouth. I will look at Fluffy and be like, could you get them a hand? Like, stretch your arm out as far as you can and just pull it out.
Okay. Kruz, roll your strength check.
14 plus. That's 21.
Okay. Combined between all of you, you are all able to successfully, with the help of Fluffy as well, pull the rest of this long creature out. As its tail emerges, you guys would see roots. These thick, gnarled, greenish, rotten roots are now wrapped around the base of it. And as they kind of snap one by one by one by one, they slink back into the ground. And the ground smooths itself back over. And the barley heads that did grab it initially kind of pop back out and sway in the breeze as if nothing happened.
I take it back. Bring me back to Hopel. I will deal with Irain. This is a nightmare.
I quite agree. Wonder what that's about.
I'm beginning to think nobody makes bread around here.
Oh,
Oh my
I'm
god.
fairly certain no one does
Ghastgar.
make bread at all.
Don't you mean spaghetti? Nobody's making the spaghetti.
Well done, everybody. You guys have slain the creatures. Good job. Good job.
I mean, I would ask for tougher enemies to fight, but I'm okay with continuing to mercilessly slaughter your combatants.
For the time being, given my horrible rolls on this side and the lucky several, this fight could have gone one of two ways very quickly. Unfortunately, with a failed critical gambit, a fail on both of the swallow attacks, of which if they had successfully swallowed them, the creatures inside were going to begin to take damage from those damaging the creature. This fight would have been much different, but a failure on all accounts therefore led you guys to being able to absolutely slaughter them.
Yep. Come up with all the excuses you want.
Yeah,
Fine.
like Ghastgar was the only one that damaged me in that entire fight.
Hey, can we all give Blow Darts a round of applause? That guy really came through this time. He did a whopping 9 damage. Go Blow
Good job.
Darts.
He actually
job,
blew
Low
a
Darts.
dart.
Thank you.
I start working on a bullet that has a that would work inside of a blow dart with a compression head that when it makes contact it makes the ignition instead of having something in the back do
So
it.
it's like a bottle rocket flying out of his mouth.
Why would you not give him something that is like a compressed air canister so he doesn't have to actually blow into the
Because I
blow dart
want to
anymore?
see what might happen if he accidentally sucks it in.
What are those like
That's fair.
fire stoker thingies called that look like a pump?
Bellow.
A billow.
Fellows.
Cruz is just gonna hand him a billow.
You're Smith. You should know that.
I was drawing a brain for it. Leave me alone. I'm sorry. I was just gonna call it a fire stoker.
All right. Well, with the dust settling now, the creature's dead before you all. I believe we will call it for this episode.
I was about to say,
Unless-
I think we should probably call it.
Yep. Yep. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed. And never stop telling stories. I'll say that later.
Never remember to tell
Sorry, I
stories.
messed that up hard.
Remember.
Never remember.
Storytelling mediums. Goodbye.
So,
Never tell stories.
All right, I just hit my mic with that. Good job, Sawyer.
Good job, Sawyer. It's only the one most important thing you're not supposed to do, right?
Sorry, give me a moment. My baby sister is spamming the doorbell.
I can hear that.
Yes.
I can't.
Thank you for stopping
Can't
that.
do it.
Go answer your door and be like, we don't want any, and slam the door in her face.
Sorry, it's her personal favorite thing to do. Okay.
He's 6 years old now, or 7?
6.
Old enough to learn.